It's now time to finalize your design for taking into the virtual reality world. And you can see here that I've put a few extra finishing touches on, like a staircase. And after I printed it out, I decided that the front needed a railing system as opposed to just a straight single pole. And I'm very happy with my design now, ready to take it into the virtual reality space. Before we do that, we're going to create our final what we call our pre-render, our render that we're going to create from Fusion 360. It's important also that you've got your colors exactly right at this point in time. It'll make the process a lot easier if you're using the colors that you want in terms of not so much the exact colors, but roughly what you want for your final view to look like. I could change some of the appearance here, but I'm going to pretty much maintain the navy blue with the red roof. The wooden trims as is appearing in that particular case. I'll probably change the louvers a bit at a stage, and I might change the internal wall colors as well. But basically I've got this going here. I'm going to take it now into render mode. So if I go into render, you can see here that it changes to a view. I've changed my background. I've played around with the setups and appearances. So you can do that. So the settings, the scene settings, is where I change my color over in the background there. I just changed it to look a little bit more like sand. I've got a render that I've already done, and what this system can do is it can render on your computer or it can render in the cloud. Rendering in the cloud can take a while, which means that you often start the render and then you'll come back later. My first render, by the way, was basically a 360 degree render in terms of the thing rotates 360 degrees. So if I double click on this, it will open up eventually. And depending on how fast your internet connection is, because this is actually on the cloud, and you'll see it there, and it's just going to rotate on its spot from around there. I can download that by pressing that download button. To create that, I pressed this button here, which is the teapot button, the render button. And I rendered it. It's the only option under there. And at the moment, I'm just rendering a single picture, which takes 1 credit. Doing the revolution is a second step that we've got to take. So if I click on that now, hit render, that's going to send it off to the cloud. It reckons it's going to take approximately 20 minutes. There it is there. And I can now close Fusion 360, and when I come back, it'll be there and done. I can also render in the canvas by pressing in canvas render, and you'll see that as I press that, my computer slows down a bit because it's doing all the maths on my computer to get that calculation right, and it'll peel over here as to what we're doing. That arrow is as far as it's going to go, so if I want it to final render, I need to move it up there. And last time I did this particular view took about 1,000 seconds. Once that's finished, you can press the save or capture image button and you can save that there, but you don't have the option of doing the rotational video. I'm going to stop that because that's just going to slow my computer down. Those are the 2 ways you can achieve a render. Once you've got a render, you can then print that out. If it's in video format, which is not really helpful for what you want because you want a printout of your particular view, make sure, by the way, you've changed it so that, it's going to give you the best possible view of your render. If you want that particular view, for example, you can start rendering that. That'll actually give you a different view. Notice how dark it is inside. You don't really need to worry too much about that. But basically, that's what it's going to be like out in the real world. That's how dark it's going to be inside with the sunlight coming from that particular direction.